people behave randomly. So that's the point where econometric is different from mathematical and are exact and determinant in nature. The relationship is 100% determinant. Okay, there is no variation. But when we talk about econometric relationship, because we are talking about individuals, so in case of economics, we are talking about individuals, household, or countries. That means there is some variation. There may be some random behavior that may affect our decision making process, or that may affect our results, that may affect our hypothesis. That's why in econometrics, we try to depict the random behavior, and that's why we add an error term in the equation. Later on, I'm going to explain how we add the error term and what is the difference between the error term and without error term equation. So in the case of, we try to basically understand the random behavior of economic relationship, which are generally not considered in economic or mathematical formulation. So in mathematics, as I already mentioned, that we just go for the deterministic or exact relationship, but in econometrics, we basically go for the stochastic or random behavior analysis also. So this random behavior is also known as a stochastic relationship. We all know that nowadays econometrics is used in almost all the disciplines. So people from different disciplines have already joined our workshops. So that also shows that the other domain people, except management and commerce and economics background people, there are other people also who need this particular tool to analyze their data. Now coming to types of econometric researches or types of econometrics, there are basically two types of, 1 minute. There are basically two types of data, or there are two types of econometrics. The video is visible, I hope. PPT is visible?
Ma'am,
Yes,
it
ma'am.
is visible, ma'am. Perfect. Ma'am, a
Okay.
small request, ma'am. At the end of
Yes.
each session, can you just send these PPTs also, ma'am?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. I will share the PPT, ma'am. No issue, ma'am.
Thank you. Thank you,
Okay.
ma'am.
So we are talking about the types of econometrics. There are basically two types of econometrics. I think those who are from econometrics background, they already know what is the difference between theoretical and applied econometrics. But people who are not from econometrics background, for that particular purpose, I am catering this. Many of you have gone through the books of econometrics, and most popular ones are Enders, Wilfridge, Gujarati. They are basically based upon the theoretical econometrics. So what is the difference between theoretical and applied econometrics? Theoretical econometrics deal with the development of the models. So this particular workshop is also based upon that. We are not going to apply it any type of theory. We are not going to use that for understanding a particular theory in how we're going to test that particular theory. We are not going to do that. We are basically dealing with what are the appropriate tools for appropriate condition and how we're going to use that thing. So most of the books which we study, basically basic Gujarati or Enders or you can say Ulfrich, they are based upon the theoretical econometrics. Theoretical econometrics basically propound the appropriate models or methods to understand the economic relationship. They basically state what are the assumptions, what are the properties. If the assumptions are not fulfilled, what we have to do, how we can change the data, how we can normalize the data. These all things are catered under theoretical econometrics. So it's basically the mathematical status. We basically depends upon the mathematical statistics, and we try to develop the models with the help of theoretical econometrics. So all the books, I think maximum books are based upon the theoretical econometrics, because they used to explain these are the your tools Suppose we are talking about ordinary least square, we are talking about maximum likelihood, we are talking about a simple regression. They are just explaining the concepts. And if we violate the assumption, what will happen? So these are done with the help of theoretical econometrics. While we talk about applied econometrics is basically using this theoretical econometrics for the purpose of analysis. When we're going to analyze certain economic theories, we are going to use this theoretical econometrics. So there are very few books on applied econometrics. You can go for applied time series econometrics. A recent book has come of Oliver, which is basically dealing with the financial application of financial econometrics. Then there are certain books which are dealing with on particular how this in which particular case we have to apply which particular technique. So there are very few books on applied econometrics. It depends upon the researcher to understand the concept of the theory and then identify the theoretical econometrics which he or she is going to apply to analyze his or her data. So it becomes very difficult. So that's why books are basically based upon theoretical econometrics, because they want to give us the theoretical knowledge that how to develop a particular theory, what are the theories or what are the models available, how we going to use this model to analyze the economic theory or finance theory or any economic data or financial data. Okay, so this particular theoretical econometrics basically deal with that. So we have to first go through the econometric books, understand the concepts, then only we able to apply it on our data. Otherwise, we cannot apply it in our data. So it becomes very difficult if our assumptions violate, then it becomes very difficult for us to analyze the data, and it may affect our results also. So whoever is going through this particular FDP and those who know about the econometrics, just read the books. There are people who are very less acquainted with the mathematical or statistical knowledge. But if you read some books, you are able to understand the basic assumption you need to know. If the basic assumptions get violated, what we have to do? How are we going to analyze our data then? So suppose our data is not normal, what we going to do? We go for unit root test, we go for differentiation, then we normalize the data and apply the test accordingly. So we need to understand the basic concept, and for that basic concept, theoretical econometrics is very much required. Applied econometrics is a part where you already know about the theoretical econometrics very clearly, and then you have to apply it according to the requirement. So there are few books related to that also. So, but I suggest that before going for applied econometrics, just go for theoretical econometrics and then you go for applied econometrics. Now coming to methodology of econometrics, there are few steps.
Madam?
Yes.
Hello.
Hello.
Can I? Yeah, sorry to interrupt you,
Yes.
ma'am.
No, sir. No.
Just now you told one book which has recently come on financial economics. Can you?
I will
suggest
just,
that?
I will share the name of the book, sir, in the
Okay,
group.
thank you. Thank you.
Okay, sir. That is a very good book if you are from finance domain, and if
Yeah.
you are dealing with security market analysis, it is a very good book in that particular domain.
Okay.
Okay, I will share
Thank
the
you.
name of the book in the group. Okay, sir.
Right.
Now coming to methodology of econometrics, the same methodology is followed in economic econometrics as well as in financial econometrics. So I am not going to explain it further in financial econometrics. Just I'm explaining the steps or methodology of econometrics. The first and foremost thing is to statement of economic theory or formulation of hypothesis. While we go for a research, we need to, nowadays we know that whenever we are writing a paper, theoretical framework is very must in every paper, whether it is from finance domain, economic domain, or from if it is questionnaire based also. So if we are conducting a secondary data based research paper, then also theoretical formulation is very important, as well as for the papers which are based on primary data analysis. So first and foremost thing in econometrics is to identify the statement of economic theory, on which economic theory or finance theory your research work is based. I am going to explain it further in the last slide also, how to read a paper, and when we are working upon a paper, how to write a paper also. The first and foremost thing is identify the economic theory. So if we identify economic theory, able to establish the relationship, we're able to establish the hypothesis also. So for our case, where I'm taking the Keynesian consumption theory, it is very simple. It simply states that consumption is a function of income. So consumption is a function of income will become our hypothesis. Now our whole equation will depend upon this particular thing. Now the second step is, first we have identified the economic theory which we are applying in our research paper or in our PhD thesis. Then accordingly we formulate the hypothesis. Next step is specification of econometric model to test the theory or hypothesis. How we going to do the specific model specification? I am just stop sharing. I'm sharing the board. Hope the board is visible.
No, ma'am. No.
It's not visible. 1 minute.
No.
It's visible, ma'am.
Yeah.
It's visible?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So the second step is model specification. I have explained that we are taking two variables in our that economic theory, consumption and income. One is our consumption that is represented by Y, and another one is income that is represented by I. So our equation will be Y equals to simple, we can say the simple regression equation, alpha plus.
But nothing is there on the board. It's just a white screen we can see.
You are not able to see the.
Yeah, no content is there. It is just a white screen.
1 minute.
We are not able to see the PPT.
PPT I'm not sharing. I'm sharing the board, sir. It's now visible.
Yeah, it's
No,
visible.
ma'am. No.
Yeah.
The equation is visible.
Yeah, it's
Yes,
visible.
ma'am. Yeah. Y equals to alpha plus beta. Okay.
Okay. So
Yeah,
this is
now
our
it's good, ma'am.
equation. Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, now it is good, ma'am.
Okay, okay. So this is our basic equation, basic or simple regression equation, linear regression equation. We all know this thing because we are studying this thing from our 9th class onwards. So this is our basic regression equation. So as I mentioned that our second step is specification of econometric model to test the theory or hypothesis. This particular equation consists of one dependent variable and one independent variable. Can anyone tell me what is independent and what is dependent here? We have consumption represented by Y and income represented by I.
Why is
Consumption.
Income is independent variable, consumption is dependent.
Yes, income is our independent variable. Or we can, sorry, इसको X कर दें. X represent कर रहा है. Okay, so income is our independent variable represented by X, and Y is our consumption that is a dependent variable. So our consumption depends upon X. That is the hypothesis which we stated in our first step of econometric modeling. Now this particular equation is thoroughly a deterministic, deterministic equation. Deterministic in the sense we have to calculate exactly what are the variables and what are the constant variables are coming. All the parameters will be calculated in an exact way. But and this particular equation, there are two properties in this particular equation. One property is that it is a one-way equation. That means income is affecting the consumption level. And second one is there is an exact and deterministic relationship between two variables. These two properties of mathematical equation is totally different from the econometric equation. Now, how we going to differentiate it with the econometric model? We're just going to add a error term in this model, and our equation will become a econometric model. This error, adding of this error term will convert this equation from statistical or mathematical equation to a econometric equation. Why we are adding this error term? Can anyone tell me?
Ma'am, because the actual and the expected values are different.
Yes, the actual and expected value are different. First thing, this particular equation is going to give you the exact values. Okay. In real life situation, if we talking about certain parameters which are we can calculate exactly, that is good enough. For mathematics and statistics, it is good enough. But for economic subject, it is not good, because there are certain things which may affect the consumption level other than income also. जैसे हम लोग कहते हैं ना, डिमांड फंक्शन है, तो demand and price are inversely related. This is the concept. But there are certain constant factors which we are keeping constant. Income constant hai, taste and preferences constant hai, but it is not in real life situation. The theories are developed accordingly, but in real life situation, the cases may differ. The people who has less income may consume more, or the people who has higher income may consume less. So there are variations in the equation, or variation in the consumption pattern, but that cannot be easily calculated with the help of this particular mathematical equation. This is the first one is a mathematical equation. The second one is your econometric equation, because we are adding the error term. This error term is also known as your stochastic error, deterministic error, or disturbance term, which create problem in calculation. Later on, mathematically, it turns out to be 0, and our main equation is this only, because we cannot calculate error term. So people from finance background also know that when we add it in CAPM model, we have to state that with the diversification, the error terms will convert to 0. So later on, this error term will convert to 0, but for formation of our equation, we have to add this error term. Okay, and the whole econometrics is based upon either residuals or error term. So these are the basic thing in the basic difference between the mathematical model and the econometric model. We are adding an error term. This error term is a random variable that is added, which may cause, I have explained in my second slide that we are talking about the random behavior or stochastic relationship. So this error term tries to analyze that particular thing. So there are certain terms propounded by Kennedy in 2008. He says that why this error term is relevant and why we need to add this error term in the equation. The first important thing is the human interdeterminacy. Means the human being cannot determine the behavior. He cannot act ideally in all the situations. According to situation, the behavior pattern of the human also changes. And for that particular purpose, we need to add this error term. Second one is influence of omitted variable. As I mentioned that in demand function, we have to keep certain things as constant. Otherwise, this relationship cannot exist. So we take 5 variables as constant. Similarly, whenever we are propounding an equation, we have to assume that these things will remain constant. But in real life situation, we may have omitted certain important variables which are important for calculation of that particular thing, like your age, gender, caste, creed, education level, types of assets. Suppose in finance, we're talking about types of assets which we are taking. So there are variables which may affect the parameters. So that's why we need to add this error term. And third and foremost thing is measurement error. Measurement error occurs due to collection of difficulty related to collection of data, and due to that we are unable to measure certain data. So that are excluded from our relationship, or that are excluded from our parameters. So these three things create a necessity that we should add an error term in our equation. And that's why mathematics and statistics are not able to justify the economic theory. भाई इकोनॉमिक्स तो बहुत पुराना सब्जेक्ट है, मैथमेटिक्स इज ऑल्सो वेरी एज ओल्ड सब्जेक्ट, statistics is also age old subject, but why these two mathematics and statistics are not able to help the economist? Because of these particular three factors, they are not able to justify the relationship, because statistics and economics both deals with the concept that everything is exact and deterministic. So if we're talking about 2 parameters, 3 parameters, 4 parameters, all the parameters are deterministic in nature. But econometrics say that since we are dealing with economic theories, it becomes difficult for us to understand the data, understand the behavior of the data. So data में बहुत सारे variations आते हैं, और जिस कारण से we cannot measure it easily, and that's why we need to add this error term. In simple language, I am explaining the econometric background will be explained by the other session people. Those who do not know econometrics, or those who are very new to this subject, this particular term, error term, is actually a major problem for them. हम लोग सोचते हैं ये एरर टर्म ऐड कैसे हो गया, पूरी की पूरी इकोनॉमेट्रिक्स की कहानी या तो रेसिडुअल्स पे होती है, एरर टर्म्स पे होती है, assumptions भी error और residuals पे ही based होते हैं. So it basically deals, we feel very awkward about this error term. So in simple language, I am going to explain this thing, and I hope I have able to explain it what is error term and why we are adding this error term in the equation. Later on, while we talk about regression, in regression session, the resource person will going to explain it in mathematical way, why this error term is added and how we are going to calculate this error term. So this is the basic of adding the error term in the equation. PPT is visible?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am, it is visible.
Okay, thank you. The next one is estimation. Now, estimation, there are various models in econometrics, or we can say the various techniques based upon which we are going to estimate the parameters. Either we are going to take ordinary least square method, or momentum, or maximum likelihood. It depends upon the test, and it depends upon the theory which we are using. So according to our requirement, we are going to use different estimation models to know the numerical values of the parameter. Now, then next step is verification or statistical inferences. When we apply the test, we get the results. So we have to check whether our results are actually helping us in accepting the hypothesis or rejecting the hypothesis. So our hypothesis may be rejected or may not be rejected. So it depends upon the statistical inferences. And the last stage is forecasting and policy formulation. Forecasting and policy formulation, it depends upon the research question, or depends upon the objectives of your research. If you are interested in forecasting based upon the data which we just received, then you can forecast the data. Like if you want to forecast the volatility of stock market, based upon the present analysis, you can forecast the data. Suppose you are only interested in policy formulation, then just formulate the policy based upon the results. So in economics, basically people are either interested in forecasting or they are interested in policy formulation. This is little bit different from the financial econometrics, because we are basically dealing with the part of stock market. Then we are interested in forecasting only. Or if we are dealing with any asset pricing theory, again, we are just going to state the whether our theory is actually going according to the parameters or not. But we are not interested in policy formulation, because the policy formulation part is basically important for economists. Very few researchers in case of finance are there where we try to formulate policy for the people. Now coming to the next part that I am talking about, financial econometrics. So financial econometrics in simple terms is econometrics applied in the financial market or financial data. So we can say that financial econometrics is science of modeling and forecasting financial data such as asset prices. Asset prices means if we are talking about shares, then share prices, asset returns, again share returns, stock market returns, or a particular script returns, interest rate, financial ratios, default and recovery rates on debt obligation, and risk exposure. We can use high level econometric tools in our finance. So it depends upon the person or the researcher or the research in which we require these types of tools. So advancement is already taken place in financial econometrics also. And nowadays people are using advanced technique to analyze the financial markets. Another important thing is that financial econometrics is useful for testing theories in finance, basically the asset pricing theories. For asset pricing theory, pricing theories, we need financial econometrics. Without financial econometrics, we cannot test the asset pricing models. For pharma French, SCAPM model, APT model, arbitrage pricing model, we need a lot of econometric tools to test whether that particular theory is going according to the notion or not. So if it is not, why it is not, and we have to test it. If you want to add any variable in any theory also, you need to do it with the help of financial econometrics. So normal SPSS or normal statistical tools are not going to help you understand the financial theories or the asset pricing theories. So there is a huge requirement of financial econometrics in asset pricing theories, and very advanced econometric tools are used in asset pricing theories. Why there is a development of financial econometrics? Because we all know that econometrics is a subject of economics. It is not a subject related to any other domain, but people are using it in other domains also. And in finance, it is hugely used. The basic reason is the availability of data. In case of economics, the data may be difficult to get, but in case of finance, we can get the data easily. First thing, we can get the daily data that is not possible in economic data. We either get yearly data or half-yearly data, or for some time we get quarterly data. Monthly or daily data is not available in case of economic data. But this is the basic beauty of financial data, that we can get any type of data, whether intraday data is required, high frequency. Nowadays, people are working upon high frequency data, means minute to minute data is used to analyze a particular case. So that is the basic reason why financial econometrics has emerged as a new domain. Second thing is availability of powerful desktop and off-the-shelf econometric software. So we can easily purchase the econometric software, although they are costly, but if the institutions have, it will become very easy for the others. So these are the major things which help in development of financial econometrics. And another important factor in this is that the financial econometrics is hugely used by the market research firms which are basically dealing with financial data. RBI used a lot of financial econometrics to analyze the economic data of the country. Banks also use financial econometrics. They actually started creating awareness of financial econometrics in the mind of researcher also, that if they are doing this type of analysis, people who are working on research paper or working on their thesis, they can also use this thing. So the trend started, the use of financial econometrics started basically after 2000, and a lot of development is taking place in financial econometrics also. Now, what is the difference between, I have mentioned econometrics, but it is the economic econometrics versus the financial econometrics. The first and foremost difference is data properties. As I already mentioned that in case of economics, we get either half-yearly data or yearly data. But in case of financial econometrics or financial data, we can easily get monthly, daily, weekly, yearly, whatever type of data you require, you can easily get. So that is the basic difference, that financial econometrics is getting more popularity nowadays, because economic data is very difficult to get, but financial data is very easily we can get it. We do not do not require to pay a huge amount for financial data. But for economic data, we need databases. Financial data also, for we need databases. But if we are talking about stock markets or simply related to companies, we can easily get the data. Then coming to measurement error and data accuracy. In case of economics, it is again, there are a lot of measurement error issues and data accuracy problem, because suppose the government has floated the GDP rate. The second year, it may change. So there may be variation in the data. So it creates a problem in while we calculating the relationship or calculating the parameters. So it becomes difficult for us to measure it accurately. But in case of financial data, since it is available from NSE BSE site or any other website of NASDAQ or any other, suppose we are talking about stock market, in that case, the accuracy level is little bit high. But in case of economic data, there are chances that there may be variation. If you go and check the RBI website and UNCAD website, you can find that there is a difference in the data given by in RBI and UNCAD. So minute differences there. Maybe the differences in points only, but there are differences, there are variation, and it may create problem in calculation, and it may give the chance of measurement error. Then handling and processing of data. Again, financial data and econometric data both are easy to handle depending upon what type of data you are taking. If you are taking the yearly data, it becomes very easy in case of economics. But if you are taking talking about financial data, it becomes difficult, because financial, we cannot study anything related to stock market with the help of yearly data. We need daily data or monthly data. So huge data is required for financial econometrics. While in case of economic data, we can go for a 10-year survey and we can identify the relationship between the economic parameters depending upon the theory which we are taking it. So in both the cases, handling and processing of data is difficult depending upon what type of data you are taking. You are taking monthly data, yearly data, weekly data. What type of data you are taking, it depends upon that. So data cleaning and data processing is very important part of econometrics, both financial and economic econometrics. In both the cases, it is very difficult. Now, these are certain topics which we which we cover in financial econometrics: analysis of high frequency price observation, arbitrage theory, as I already mentioned, asset price dynamics, optimum asset allocation, co-integration, event study, non-linear models, then realized variance. These things will be calculated with the help of financial econometrics only. We cannot calculate with the help of normal statistical tool. If anyone calculating with the help of normal regression or variance, that paper will not be accepted in any good quality of journal. But or to analyze or to test this type of theories in your paper, you need high frequency data. First thing, you need to know the statistical tool as well as the advanced financial econometric tools. Then only you can test it, and then only your paper will get accepted in good quality journal. Because a lot of advancement is taking, as I already mentioned, lot of advancement is taking place in econometrics. New techniques are added every day, and it becomes problematic for the databases also to manage that thing. If we talk about Gretel, eViews, they are dealing with the basic econometrics tool up to a medium level. If you talk about advanced tools, you have to go for Stata or SAS. So it also become important for a researcher to know which software is important for me and what type of analysis I am going to perform in near future. R is a very good software. If a person who has a background of computer science or who knows coding, they can go for R, because R includes almost all the advanced econometric tools in them. Otherwise, if we talk about Gretel and eViews, they are going to handle up to a medium level advancement. For more advanced tools, you have to go for Stata or SAS. So it becomes difficult for researcher also to learn each and every software according to the requirement of your analysis. So it depends upon you what you want to study and how you want to study, how you want to analyze the data, and at what level you want to analyze. Again, the same steps are taken in case of econometric modeling, model selection. We are just going to explain it with the help of data, help of this particular graph. The first step is identify the economic or financial theory. Whatever financial theory, suppose your research is based upon some asset pricing model. So just look at that asset pricing model. Again, in case of finance, you have to difference between the theoretical models and the empirical models. Most of the asset pricing models are empirical in nature. They are not theoretical in nature. So you have to identify which one is theoretical model and which one is empirical model, because empirical models are used for empirical analysis. This whole step is basically related to empirical analysis or empirical research. So you have to identify whether my theory, which I am using, the asset pricing theory, which I am using, and which is the empirical and which one is the theoretical. So your whole theory or whole concept will based upon a certain theory, but you are going to test or analyze an empirical theory. So suppose we are talking about Fama French. Fama French is an empirical theory, empirical model. It is not a theoretical concept. So it is an empirical model. That's why it is continuously tested by various researchers. In fact, Fama and French also adding every day new variables to it. So you need to understand what is the difference between a theoretical model and what is the difference between an empirical model. In case of economics, there is no differentiation because almost all the concepts are based upon theories. So we have to use that particular theory and formulate our research hypothesis. But in finance, there is difficulty. We need to identify first which theory we're going to use and then how we're going to analyze that particular theory. Next is formulation or estimable theoretical model. पहले तो previous theories identify करिए, then which theory you are going to use in your research paper as a theoretical based, you have to identify that, and then on the basis of that you have to formulate the hypothesis. Then go for collection of data. Again, it depends upon the theory on which you are working upon. Then model estimation, I have already mentioned that we have to go for econometric modeling. We have to, whatever model you are taking, you have to add that error term, you have to evaluate that error term also. Then check whether the model is statistically adequate or not. If statistically adequate, interpret the model and use it for analysis purpose. If not, then reformulate the model accordingly. तो जितने भी लोग फाइनेंशियल या क्या कहते हैं एसेट प्राइसिंग मॉडल्स पे काम कर रहे हैं या जो लोग वर्क करते हैं दे नो दैट वी नीड टू रिफॉर्मुलेट इट अकॉर्डिंग टू द रिक्वायरमेंट बिकॉज देयर आर सिचुएशन की जहां हमें ईयरली डेटा मिलता है किसी चीज का मंथली डेटा मिलता है किसी का आपको डेली बेसिस पे डेटा मिलता है तो क्रॉस सेक्शनल जहां पर भी बात है यू हैव टू चेक वेदर we have to reformulate the model or not. And again, it depends upon the country. क्योंकि foreign context में ये सारे models established हुए हैं. Especially the financial models, they are established in context of foreign countries. In emerging markets के case में problem arise होती है data की. तो and again there are problems that हमें कुछ variation करने पड़ सकते हैं depending upon the data is not available or the values may change accordingly. So we need to reformulate the model and then apply the statistical analysis. So these are the basic steps of econometric modeling. Now coming to data, I think everyone knows about this, that there are three types of data in econometrics. First one is time series data. So time series data is basically related to different time points or frequency of a particular data points. We are either going to take monthly, weekly, yearly, annually data. So there are time series data. And the subscript which define the time series it is denoted by the T. T denotes the subscript of time series. And there are two major problems associated with time series data. That's why our second session is going to deal with these two major problems, autocorrelation and stationarity. Whenever we are talking about time series data, we face this major problem and major issues. These are in calculation or in eViews or in Gretel or any other software, it looks very simple to calculate, but theoretically they are very important. So our next session is totally devoted to stationarity. You need to understand what is stationarity, and those who do not have any background of econometrics, it is very important for them to understand this thing. Otherwise, you cannot go for any type of test. जितने भी एडवांस टेस्ट है इकोनॉमेट्रिक्स में all depends upon these two basic testing, autocorrelation and stationarity. We need to understand what is autocorrelation, how, because we are talking about time series data, so there may be problem of autocorrelation or मैक्सिमम टाइम होता है, स्टेशनरिटी की भी इशू आती है, तो वी नीड टू ट्रांसपोज आवर डेटा, ट्रांसफॉर्म आवर डेटा अकॉर्डिंगली, एंड ये इश्यूज हम ओवरकम कर सकते हैं. ऐसा नहीं कि बहुत मेजर इशू है, बट दे ट्राई टू वायलेट आवर अजम्पशन. तो जैसे हमने कहा था आगे प्रीवियस स्लाइड में कि इफ वी डू नॉट नो द थियोरेटिकल बेसिस ऑफ इकोनॉमेट्रिक्स, यू कैन नॉट गो फॉर टेस्टिंग. So theoretical modeling or theoretical econometrics is very important. Every tool has every analysis, जैसे हमने panel data लगाना है या volatility conduct करना है, any sort of data we want to test, we have to just check these two things first. Okay, if we check these two things, then only we can go for further analysis. अगर हमारे यही violate रहेंगे, we cannot analyze the data. We cannot go for panel data analysis. We cannot go for volatility testing. We cannot go for co-integration analysis, causality. We cannot do anything. So these two things are very important for time series analysis. Now, what are the base problems which we can tackle with the help of time series data? These are certain examples or the domains in which we can conduct the research. So as to how to value the country's stock index has varied with the country's macroeconomic fundamental. So simply we can have this relationship, impact of macroeconomic variable on stock market. So we can simply apply the multiple regression and go for this. Then how the value of company stock price has varied when they announce the value of dividend. So dividend announcement is related to an event study. What is the effect of dividend announcement on pre and post company stock prices? So we can go for that analysis also. Next one is country's exchange rate of an increase in trade deficit. Again, there is a relationship. We can go for causality also. We can go for OLS also. So these are the cases where we require time series data. Again, it is related to a single country. If we're going to analyze it for suppose 5-6 countries, then you have to go for panel data. So here we are talking about, in case of time series analysis, we are talking about single country or single company. Okay, this is a basic difference. We have to take a single country's data, or you have to take the what do I say, company's data. Or if you want to test it, you have to test it in different countries. Suppose मैं इसी macroeconomic factors का impact देखना चाहती हूँ stock market पे. So I have interested in studying 5 emerging markets of Asia. तो मैंने 5 countries का data collect किया, macroeconomic data collect किया, stock market का data collect किया, then I am going to analyze it country wise. So my analysis will be on country basis. अगर हम इसे of macroeconomic variables on the performance of stock market, तो overall view आ जाएगा. But country wise के case में हमें, although in panel data also we require time series data because it is a combination of cross sectional and time series. So this is the basic concept of time series. Now coming to cross-sectional data, cross-sectional everyone knows it is related to a data on more variable collected on a particular point of time. Suppose 2020, we are taking data of 5 pharmaceutical companies, suppose net profit of 5 pharmaceutical companies taken in 2020, so that becomes a cross sectional data. अब इन्हीं 5 कंपनीज को अगर हम 10 साल के लिए एनालाइज करेंगे वो टाइम सीरीज में कन्वर्ट हो जाएगा, बट वहां पर 5 कंपनीज नहीं आएंगी, सिंगल कंपनी आएगी. So this is the difference between cross sectional. So there are some examples related to it. Again, in cross sectional में सबसे मेजर प्रॉब्लम आता है हेट्रोजेनिटी का. ठीक है, डिपेंड्स अपॉन कि क्या, जैसे मैंने कहा 5 फार्मास्यूटिकल कंपनीज का मैं परफॉर्मेंस चेक करना चाहती हूँ. सो हाउ आई गोइंग टू चेक 5 फार्मास्यूटिकल कंपनीज कौन सी, किस बेसिस पे, स्मॉल फर्म है, मीडियम फर्म है, लार्ज है, या मैंने सिर्फ टॉप 5 कंपनीज ली है. टॉप 5 कंपनीज अगेन डिफर इन देयर साइज, इन देयर एज. So this may create problems in calculation. तो ये सारी चीजें माइन्यूट चीजें हैं, बट ये हमें कैलकुलेशन के समय पे या कह लो डेटा कलेक्शन के टाइम पे वी हैव टू चेक दैट. कैन एनीवन टेल मी कि जब हम सपोज कोइंटीग्रेशन लगा रहे हैं, कई लोग जानते होंगे, we are applying co-integration between the Asian stock markets. So shall we convert the data in context of Indian currency or not? Anyone? मैंने 5 एशियन कंट्रीज लिए हैं, इंडिया और उन 5 कंट्रीज के बीच में मैं को-इंटीग्रेशन देखना चाहती हूँ, स्टॉक मार्केट को-इंटीग्रेशन. डेटा जो भी मैंने उनके स्टॉक मार्केट्स का कलेक्ट किया, shall I have to convert in Indian currency or not?
Yes,
Good
yes,
morning,
ma'am.
ma'am.
They should be in same currency.
In Indian context,
Ma'am, if
I
we are
have
dealing with returns, we don't need to convert it into any particular currency, because if we deal in returns, it would be same if it
same in
if we
percentage.
convert it in any currency or not.
And if we are talking about prices only,
Then we have to maintain a homogeneous currency.
नहीं, यही इसीलिए मैंने क्वेश्चन पूछा. अब ये प्रॉब्लम कहाँ अराइज हुई? आई एम राइटिंग ए पेपर लॉन्ग बैक, तो मुझे भी नहीं पता था. सिंपली आई ऑल्सो कन्वर्टेड द डेटा इन इंडियन करेंसी. हाउ वी गेट दिस टाइप ऑफ थिंग? जब हम पेपर पढ़ते हैं, दैट इज द वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट थिंग. व्हेन वी गो थ्रू और रीड द पेपर, वी गेट दिस टाइप ऑफ इंफॉर्मेशन. किसी भी बुक में, चाहे वो फाइनेंस की फाइनेंशियल इकोनोमेट्रिक्स हो या इकोनॉमिक्स की नॉर्मल इकोनोमेट्रिक्स की बुक्स, वी कैन नॉट गेट दिस टाइप ऑफ इंफॉर्मेशन. We have to go and read the papers very minutely. What is the data collection procedure? Going through the literature review, I come across a particular statement that we are not required to convert the data. We have to maintain the sanctity of the data as it is. तो हमने तो पूरा का पूरा डेटा INR में कन्वर्ट कर लिया था, एनालिसिस भी लगा लिया था, लास्ट मोमेंट पे फिनिशिंग चल रही थी पेपर की. एंड देन आई कम अक्रॉस दिस पर्टिकुलर लाइन. तो हमने कहा ये तो, फिर उसको ढूंढा गया और पेपर्स में फिर उसके रेफरेंसेस ढूंढे गए, एंड देन वी केम अक्रॉस दैट Laurel has said that if we are taking returns, we do not require to convert the data. But if we are talking about prices, then in that case, we simply use the prices as it is. इंडिया की करेंसी इंडिया में रहेगी, यूएस का डेटा यूएस डॉलर में ही रहेगा, यूरो में ही रहेगा, जापान का जापान में ही रहेगा. वी डू नॉट नीड टू कन्वर्ट इट इनटू इंडियन करेंसी. इफ यू आर टेकिंग रिटर्न, नो इशू, बिकॉज वो तो ऑलरेडी परसेंटेज में कन्वर्टेड है, ऑलरेडी मेंटेन है. ये एक प्रॉब्लम आता है. ये प्रॉब्लम हम तभी डील कर सकते हैं इफ वी गो थ्रू द पेपर्स माइन्यूटली. In papers, we get to know what is the methodology they have adopted, how they have adopted, what data they have collected. Sometimes they used to mention what type of data we have to collect for this type of research question. Everything is mentioned in papers. So that's why good quality papers is very much important before going for analysis or before going for data collection. Just thoroughly go for review of literature. Then only you are able to understand what type, because in finance the data are very important. हमारा छोटा छोटा भी minute detailing भी अगर प्रॉब्लम करेगा, रिजल्ट नहीं आएगा. और ये जितने भी सॉफ्टवेयर हैं, they are very selective in data. तो इनके में प्रॉब्लम्स भी अराइज हो जाती है कि यहाँ प्रॉब्लम आया डेटा तो डेटा को ही सिलेक्ट करेगा, वो लेगा ही नहीं, वो एनालिसिस ही नहीं लगाएगा। बट अभी तो काफी एडवांसमेंट के साथ इनमें काफी डेटा सेंसिटिवनेस कम किया जा रहा है। अदरवाइज अर्लियर वी यूज्ड टू फेस लॉट ऑफ प्रॉब्लम कि हमारा डेटा सही नहीं है, वो एंट्री ही नहीं ले रहा, डेटा का कोई इंटरप्रिटेशन ही नहीं आ रहा, वो पहले ही बोल देता है डेटा इज नॉट करेक्ट। अब आप सोचते रहो डेटा करेक्ट कहाँ नहीं है। So financial data are very important. And again, the thing is that we need to understand what type of data is required for our research purposes. For that, I just suggest just go for thorough review of literature. Just go for that particular portion of data collection and the methodology portion, because that portion is going to give us in detail or tell us in detail ki we have what type of data is required, what type of you can say the test is required, analysis is required, quality of data is required, सब कुछ वही मेंशन रहता है। Now problems ये तो हम लोगों ने already discuss कर लिया। Panel data, I hope everyone knows about the panel data. It includes both time series and cross sectional data. जैसे मैंने अभी सबसे पहले explain किया था time series में ही, that if we are talking about suppose I am talking about macroeconomic variables of 5 countries for 10 years time period, वो सारा का सारा panel data के through ही analyze होगा। Again, I am going to show it while I am going to explain how to import the data in eViews and Gretel. Then in time series and cross-sectional data, there are continuous and discrete data also. So ये हम लोग सब जानते हैं what is a continuous series, what is a discrete series. ये दोनों ही चीजें हमें time series and cross-sectional में मिलते हैं। Another thing is that we get cardinal, ordinal and nominal numbers in time series and cross-section. So ये सारी चीजें हम लोग वैसे तो पढ़ते हैं नॉर्मल रिसर्च मेथोलॉजी में, और हम सोचते हैं ये इसका जो यूज है that is only used for our questionnaire based study, but it is not. It is also used in this type of time series or cross-sectional data in finance domain as well as in economics domain. Another important thing in this is experimental and non-experimental data. So in case of econometrics, we are not using the experimental data because it is a part of natural sciences. We are basically based upon non-experimental data because we only take the secondary data to analyze time series or panel data. Now coming to
Can I
this.
ask- Hello?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, sorry. Sorry, ma'am, but can I ask the 2 questions?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, ma'am. As you told that through the literature review, we are not required to take the changes in the currency in case of price data. So why it is so, ma'am? And if we will convert it, then what will be the changes or
Actually,
challenges?
so there is no problem in it, but the results may vary. If we are converting it into US Indian currency, you can check the prices automatically. The values of that particular area automatically changes, and it may create problem because in econometrics the data are very sensitive in nature. तो हम लोग अगर जो नॉर्मल प्राइस जैसे हमने स्टॉक मार्केट्स निकाले उनके जो भी अवेलेबल है वैल्यूज, एज इट इज वैल्यूज पे ही हमें काम करना है। अगर हम उसे
Ma'am.
कन्वर्ट कर देते हैं, जैसे हमने इंडियन करेंसी में कन्वर्ट कर दिया, हमको तो लगा कि ये बहुत सही है हमने, क्योंकि हम इंडिया का को इंटीग्रेशन देख रहे हैं इंटरनेशनल मार्केट के साथ, we have converted it and it is very necessary, क्योंकि एज ए मेच्योर रिसर्चर मतलब जब मैंने भी पेपर को इंटीग्रेशन पे किया था मैंने भी यही काम किया था, बट लेटर ऑन मैंने जैसे बताया मैंने कंप्लीट कर लिया पेपर। आई जस्ट गोइंग थ्रू फाइनल रिवीजन ऑफ माय पेपर एंड फाइनल रिव्यू ऑफ लिटरेचर जो लास्ट मोमेंट में ऐड कर रही थी, उन रिव्यू पेपर्स में मुझे एक रिव्यू पेपर में ये एडिशन मिला कि कभी भी कन्वर्ट नहीं करना चाहिए। तो मैंने कहा ये कैसे पता चलेगा कि कभी भी नहीं कन्वर्ट करना चाहिए। देन वी लुक इनटू द थ्योरी आल्सो एंड देन आई फाइंड कि ये अगर हम कन्वर्ट करते हैं तो डेटा जो सेंसिटिवनेस है वो खत्म हो जाता है, एंड इकोनॉमेट्रिक्स वी आर टॉकिंग अबाउट द सेंसिटिविटी ऑफ द डेटा, तो हम कन्वर्ट करके काम करेंगे। हाँ सर,
if I am not wrong, if because at different time period the exchange rate will be different, and we are converting in the last on only single exchange rate. So that's why the data will be distorted.
maybe there is a problem, maybe because of that theoretically कहीं और issue होगा, इसीलिए वो papers में फिर हमने और भी उससे related papers देखे और अभी भी जो हम लोग काम किए हैं ARDL पे, we have not converted the data, we have used
And
the
my-
data.
Yeah,
Yes,
my
sir.
second question is, what is the difference between panel and the pool data?
Panel and pool data, that will be talked by the research person, resource person only, because they are going to explain that. There are 3 sessions for panel data analysis.
Okay.
Okay, because it
Thank
is
you.
based upon statistical analysis, so the resource person will going to explain you exhaustively about that particular thing, क्योंकि उसमें panel और pool है कि नहीं वो तभी हमें पता चलेगा जब हम tools apply करते हैं.
Okay,
So
thank you.
this is basically for the theoretical purpose कि हमारे 3 data types हैं क्या. So there are basically 3 data types in econometrics: time series, panel, and your cross section. Okay, now this is basically for the researchers, because जो senior हैं, जो already teachers हैं, they already know these things. But this is basically for the researchers and those who are totally new to the research domain. The first point is to identify whether the paper involved for the development of theoretical model. So first and foremost thing in whenever we are going to go for review of literature, we have to check whether the particular paper is developed any theoretical model. If it is, then how they are involved in development of theoretical model, or if it is not, then how they are using the theoretical model. The maximum papers जो हम co-integration, event studies इन सब पे करते हैं, they are not using any type of theoretical model, or they are not developing any theoretical models also. They are merely using the techniques, as they have mentioned. Does the paper involve the development of a theoretical model, or is it merely a technique looking for application so that the motivation for a lot exercise is poor? तो हमें ये देखना पड़ेगा कि जैसे आज के डेट पे हम को-इंटीग्रेशन पे काम करें या काम करें इवेंट स्टडी पे, कोई बहुत बेनिफिट नहीं है, बिकॉज पेपर्स आर इजीली गेट रिजेक्टेड बाय द रिव्यूअर्स. व्हाई दे आर रिजेक्टिंग द पेपर? क्योंकि इसमें कोई एडवांसमेंट नहीं हो रहा है. टेक्निक्स वही है, वही कॉजलिटी और वही को-इंटीग्रेशन वार अप्लाई कर रहे हैं आज के डेट पे. Although it is a very age old technique, ARDL अप्लाई कर रहे हैं, but there are no theoretical developments. तो हमें वो बहुत सोच समझ के आइडेंटिफाई करना पड़ेगा कि हम बेसिस क्या चाहते हैं, why we are conducting this particular research. सिंपली फॉर कंडक्टिंग ऑफ रिसर्च वी आर कंडक्टिंग को कोई मतलब नहीं है, क्योंकि आप लोग खुद भी देख रहे होंगे, चाहे टीचर्स हो, हम लोग भी एज अ रिसर्चर, हम लोगों के साथ भी ये होता है कि कई बार पेपर भेजते हैं, हमें लगता है दैट वी हैव डन वेरी गुड वर्क, बट they get rejected easily because there is no value addition to the theory or value addition to the knowledge base. The papers get easily rejected. Especially for research scholars, it is important कि आप क्या काम करें, क्योंकि आपको next 5 years तक के लिए काम करना है, 4 to 5 years के लिए, and after that your research work will be evaluated. तो जो भी टेक्निक हम आज यूज कर रहे हैं, क्या 5 years तक उसका वैल्यू है या उसके बाद भी उसकी वैल्यू है, बिकॉज यू हैव टू ब्रिंग रिसर्च पेपर्स आउट ऑफ दैट ऑल्सो. सो यू हैव टू चेक कि मेरा जो भी मैं काम कर रहा हूँ, इट शुड बी न्यू और नोवेल, सो दैट whatever technique I am applying or whatever technique I am going to apply, it is useful for my future also. Then are the data of good quality? This is also important. जैसे अभी मेरी और सर की बात हुई कि हमें कैसे पता चला ये डेटा कन्वर्ट करना है कि नहीं करना. If it is a good quality paper or good data is collected, then you have to text. Another important thing, in every international paper और जितने भी international papers हैं, they use good databases. इंडिया के केस में थोड़ा सा हमें प्रॉब्लम होता है डेटाबेसेस का. तो हमारे पास तो मेनली CMI ही है और प्रोवेस है, इंडिया स्टैट है, EWH है, पर ये डेटाबेसेस सारे इंस्टीट्यूट्स के पास नहीं है. So that becomes a problem. But they have better access to databases, और उनके पेपर्स में, फाइनेंस के पेपर्स में स्पेशली आपने देखा होगा, they have quoted some databases और उन्हीं के थ्रू वो कलेक्ट करते हैं डेटा. तो that means their authenticity is very high. हमारे केस में क्योंकि हम लोग डेटाबेस अगर यूज नहीं कर रहे हैं, तो ऑथेंटिसिटी थोड़ी लो हो जाती है और वो भी एक रिजेक्शन का रीजन बन जाता है. Then have the techniques applied when validly applied. कई बार पेपर्स रीड आउट करते समय ये भी मिलता है, रिसर्च स्कॉलर्स के लिए थोड़ा डिफिकल्ट होता है अंडरस्टैंड करना कि ये टेक्निक सही लगी है या गलत लगी है, बट फॉर टीचर्स हु आर यूजिंग इकोनॉमेट्रिक्स for longer time period, they can easily state that whether they have applied the correct technique or not, whether the test has been violated or not. ये सारी चीजें हम easily देख सकते हैं, but it depends again upon lot of reading. जब हम बहुत expert हो जाएंगे इस field में, then only we can identify कि ये tool सही लगा है कि नहीं, assumptions कहीं violate तो नहीं किए हैं, models जो frame है it is correct or not. In international papers also we come across these type of papers who have violated the assumptions and they are published in good journals. So there may be some reasons, but we have to identify this thing कि हम उन पेपर्स को ना पढ़ें. हमारा जो पेपर कलेक्शन हो या हमारा जो रिव्यू कलेक्शन हो, it should be of good quality papers. Then have the results been interpreted sensibly. This is very important. आज के डेट पे पेपर रिजेक्शन का मेजर रीजन ये भी हो गया है कि हम लोग सिर्फ या रिसर्च स्कॉलर्स के लिए कहें तो दे आर जस्ट इंटरप्रेटिंग द रिजल्ट्स, दे आर नॉट डिस्कसिंग इट. तो हमारा जो डिस्कशन पोर्शन है दैट इज मिसिंग. So we have to add that discussion in the interpretation also. While you're interpreting the result, add some discussion, add some value to it. Your value addition should be there. So that will make the paper good enough to be published in a good quality journal. Then, do the results actually obtained relate to the question posed by the authors? And can the results be replicated by other researchers? तो हमारा पेपर ऐसा भी होना चाहिए जिससे साइटेशन मिले. That means we should have collected good quality data, we have good quality review in our paper, results are good, then only our papers will be cited by other researchers. And another important thing, whatever research question we have asked, that has answered by our results. If it is not, then paper is you have to work upon the paper again. Are the conclusion drawn appropriate given the results, or has importance of results on the paper been overstated? तो ये सारी चीजें जो हैं जब हम empirical finance के पेपर पढ़ते हैं, that is little bit different from the papers of primary questionnaire based. क्योंकि empirical papers में सबसे पहले तो हम लोगों को डर लग जाता है इतने सारे mathematical equations देख के. तो दैट इज द फर्स्ट एंड फॉरमोस्ट इंपॉर्टेंट थिंग. हम पेपर का वो पोर्शन देखते ही सोचते हैं अब हम क्या करेंगे, इसमें क्या पढ़ेंगे. तो वो पोर्शन जहां पर इतना सारा मैथमेटिकल फॉर रिसर्चर्स ओनली, वो पोर्शन छोड़ के बाकी जितना भी पोर्शन है पेपर का पढ़ो. वो धीरे धीरे आने लगेगा जब आप उस टूल्स पे काम करने लगोगे. यू विल एबल टू एक्वाइंट विद दैट आल्सो. ठीक है, जिनका मैथमेटिक्स या इंजीनियरिंग बैकग्राउंड है या जिन्होंने इकोनॉमेट्रिक्स बैकग्राउंड में पढ़ाई की है उनके लिए प्रॉब्लम नहीं है. कॉमर्स एंड मैनेजमेंट पीपल के लिए थोड़ा सा प्रॉब्लम होता है, स्पेशली क्योंकि हमारा कई बार मैथमेटिक्स बैकग्राउंड नहीं होता है एंड वी गेट रियली अनॉयड बाय सीइंग दिस टाइप्स ऑफ अफ्रेड कि बड़े हम करेंगे क्या इस पेपर में, इतना सारा कैलकुलेशन हम कैसे करेंगे. We are not going to do the calculation. That will be done by the softwares only. We need to understand the assumptions. We need to check whether the assumptions are properly quoted in our paper or not. हमने कहीं assumptions violate तो नहीं किए. This only going to add benefit to our paper. तो ये पेपर धीरे धीरे जब आप पढ़ते रहोगे तब आपको ये चीजें डेवलप होने लगेंगी एंड इट विल टेक टाइम. ये नहीं कि इकोनॉमेट्रिक्स ऐसा सब्जेक्ट नहीं है कि जैसे एसपीएसएस हम एक हफ्ते के वर्कशॉप में इतना चलाना सीख जाते हैं कि हम काम करने लग जाएंगे. इकोनॉमेट्रिक्स सॉफ्टवेयर के साथ यही प्रॉब्लम है, हम काम करना सीखेंगे तब जब हम रेगुलर बेसिस पे उसको यूज करेंगे. इफ यू आर नॉट यूजिंग इट ऑन रेगुलर बेसिस, हम लोगों को फिर जब दोबारा एक साल बाद पकड़ेंगे वहीं रहेंगे जहां पर हम थे. तो आज अगर आप इस पर्टिकुलर एफडीपी में कुछ लर्न कर रहे हैं, जो भी थोड़ा बहुत भी लर्न करेंगे, जस्ट ट्राई टू प्रैक्टिस इट, अप्लाई इट, थोड़ा थोड़ा करके ये अप्लाई करिए तो आपको वो चीजें आने लगेंगी. एनी क्वेश्चंस रिलेटेड टू दिस?
Ma'am, when we are checking the performances of 5 different pharmacy companies,
Hmm.
that can be under a marketing article or like which area it comes into?
Ma'am, can you tell me, explain the concept or explain the research?
Ma'am, like if you are trying to measure the performances, as you said, of the pharmacy companies, and using the
You are going to calculate the performance of financial pharmaceutical companies, financial performance.
yes, yes.
So if you
That
are
is
studying the financial performance, then it will be included in finance paper. Suppose you are from marketing domain and you want to analyze the sales, and on the basis of that, you're going to predict the sales for the future. That may be included in finance paper as well as in marketing paper, depending upon the research question you have formulated.
done.
Okay, ma'am. I hope everyone has downloaded the Gretel.
Yes, ma'am. Yes.
Okay, I am sharing the screen of the Gretel. We are just, I'm just going to explain कि क्या-क्या चीजें हम कर सकते हैं, basic, how to import the data. Other thing will be explained by the other resource person who are going to apply different tests. जैसे panel data analysis के लिए we are using Gretel. So resource person ने पहले से ही बता दिया है कि all the participants should install Gretel in their software. Screen is visible. I have shared the databases also.
Yes, ma'am.
Hope
It's
screen is
visible.
visible. Okay.
Yes.
So simply जिनको नहीं पता, मेरे ख्याल से इसमें कई लोग होंगे जिनको पता होगा, but those who are totally new to Gretel, क्योंकि कल मेरे पास कई बच्चों के भी messages आए थे, तो I hope they do not know about how to use Gretel and how to import the data in eViews. So that's why I have taken this particular portion. क्योंकि आगे के जितने भी सेशन होंगे वो लोग तो डायरेक्ट आपको चीजें टेस्ट कैसे लगानी है वो एक्सप्लेन कंसेप्ट एक्सप्लेन करेंगे एंड देन दे विल गोइंग टू अप्लाई द टेस्ट. तो हमारा सबसे पहले काम रहेगा जस्ट गो टू द फाइल, ओपन द यूजर फाइल. जैसे हमने यहाँ पर मेंशन किया आई वांट सेव द डेटा इन डेस्कटॉप. यहाँ पर ग्रेटल डेटा फाइल्स करके आ रहे हैं, तो यू जस्ट क्लिक ऑन ऑल फाइल्स. अगर आप ऑल फाइल्स क्लिक करेंगे वहां से भी आपको मिल जाएगा, या तो आप सिंपली क्लिक करिए एक्सेल फाइल्स. सो मेरे दो ये एक्सेल फाइल्स है. आई हैव सिलेक्टेड वन वर्कशॉप एंड ओपन इट. कॉलम 1 क्यों वैलिड हो गया. ये आपने देखा ये किस तरीके से केसेस मिसिंग हो जाते हैं. दीज आर द प्रॉब्लम्स वी फेस इन. हमारा अगर डेटा सेंसिटिव हुआ तो ये प्रॉब्लम्स हम फेस करेंगे. फाउंड 8 वेरिएबल्स एंट्री ऑब्जर्वेशन मिसिंग 5 फॉर वेरिएबल 5 एरर रीडिंग एक्सेल डेटा. ठीक है, इसे हम क्लोज करते हैं. शीट 1 ओपन किया, ये शीट ओपन हो गया मेरा. सो वी हैव टू चेक द एक्सेल फाइल ऑल्सो, क्योंकि एक्सेल में अगर हमारे कोई भी प्रॉब्लम्स होंगी, ये चाहे ग्रेटल हो चाहे ईव्यूज हो, दे आर वेरी डेटा सेंसिटिव. वो ऐसे कमांड देंगे और ऐसे इंफॉर्मेशन देंगे, कई बार हम उसे क्रैक ही नहीं कर पाते कि कहाँ प्रॉब्लम है. सो वी हैव टू गो बैक टू आवर एक्सेल, we have to make the correction in Excel, and then again we have to put. So I've opened.
Ma'am, step you, ma'am. You're doing analysis in Gretel or you're importing the
Gretel.
data?
I am just importing the data. I am just showing how to import the file in the data. Analysis will be explained by other resource person. I am not going to explain any analysis. Yes, ma'am.
Gretel भी एक tool है जैसा SPSS और R जैसा ना?
Ma'am, your voice is not clear.
मैम ये भी एक सॉफ्टवेयर टूल है क्या ग्रेटल? कैन यू जस्ट
Yes,
गिव एन
ma'am.
इंट्रोडक्शन?
Gretel is a software tool and it is free. जैसे हमें we have to purchase econometrics, because either we used to have any pirated versions or that particular thing. Gradle is a free software like R. So we can apply any type of test related to econometrics in Gradle. So it is a free software.
And ma'am,
I have shared the link in the group also, Vani ma'am. I have shared the link. You just download the Gradle. Because for last session, last day panel data, we required Gradle. The resource person has requested to download that particular software. So just download that software.
ma'am, sorry again, ma'am. And और एक बात, ma'am, like if you want to get data, like the statistical data, where from we are pulling this Airtel, HDFC. So from where we can get this, ma'am? Like the statistical
Ma'am,
numbers.
I have collected the stock prices of these companies. So I have collected it from the NSE or BSC side. So it depends upon you upon which data you require. Suppose you required company data, like you have mentioned that you want to measure the performance of the company. That means you require the balance sheet data. So for balance sheet data, either you have to go for any databases you get, because open forum we only get 5 years data. Like Yahoo Finance is providing data, and there are other sources are there. Money Control is there. They are providing balance sheet only for 5 years. But if we require more than 5 years data for particular company, and that is related to balance sheet, you have to go for ProS. Then only you can collect the data. And for stock prices, you can collect the data directly from the NSE and BSC website, ma'am.
Thank you, ma'am.
Okay, ma'am. Okay, so we have the data. Now we have collected the open the BSC list from the file, and whatever you want to check. Suppose I want to go for summary statistics. I have selected Airtel.
Hello,
Then yes,
ma'am.
Nishant.
Can you please explain once again how to import the data? How to
Okay.
resolve it is showing.
I have not shared the BSC list file. I will share it, Nishant, after the session. You just practice it. Just note the steps. Okay.
Okay.
Okay. Just go to the file, open data, file, open data, and whatever file you want to open. Suppose I am using a user file. Desktop पे मेरा कोई file safe है. Just here they are going to mention Gradle database files. Okay, तो Gradle में हमने कुछ भी save नहीं किया है. We have saved in Excel. So I have to drag and drop and select the Excel file. Nowadays Excel files are 2007 के बाद से XLSX के नाम से आ रहा है. तो वो अगर फाइल आपका जिस भी फॉर्मेट में सेव है, just click on that portion, select the file from here and open. Okay. Nishant, is it okay?
Yes, ma'am. Thank you.
Okay. So I will share this file after the session. So now we want to test what is the summary statistics of our particular stock. Just select this particular Airtel. Go to view, summary statistics, Airtel, click arrow, green arrow, and OK. There are two options, show main statistics, show full statistics. So it depends upon you want to know the main statistics. We first go for main statistics. You will get mean, maximum, medium, maximum, minimum, standard deviation, and missing observation. So on the basis of that, you get the descriptive statistics of your data. Now we are interested to view the summary statistics, full summary statistics of Airtel. What you are getting here? Mean, median, maximum, minimum, standard deviations, skewness, kurtosis, then quartile, minimum observation. तो यहाँ से भी हमें काफी सारे इंफॉर्मेशन मिल जा रही है. तो it will help us to prepare a primary table or descriptive table of our data. तो जब भी हम पेपर लिखते हैं, कई बार हम पेपर्स में ये देखते हैं कि they are providing the descriptive statistics. So with the help of this, we can provide the descriptive statistics. So simply हम इनके basis पे अपने data को explain कर देंगे. This particular view will explain it. अब हमें correlation निकालना है किसी के basis पे. मान लो we want to draw a correlation matrix between Airtel, BHEL and HDFC Bank. Simply okay, we get the correlation matrix. अब इसको तुम अपने अकॉर्डिंग, अपने डिजाइनिंग पैटर्न के अकॉर्डिंग इसको चेंज कर लो. आई एम नॉट एक्सप्लेनिंग द कोरिलेशन बिकॉज ये आप लोगों को सबको पता है कोरिलेशन वैल्यूज, आर वैल्यूज कैसे एक्सप्लेन होती है. तो व्हाट इज द रिलेशनशिप, वी कैन गो फॉर दिस पर्टिकुलर मैट्रिक्स. तो ये भी एक पर्टिकुलर थिंग है. इसके अलावा हम अपने डेटा के लिए ग्राफ्स भी डिसाइड कर सकते हैं. हम टाइम सीरीज प्लॉट डिसाइड कर रहे हैं एयरटेल का, किस तरीके का टाइम सीरीज पैटर्न है. ये हमारा टाइम सीरीज ग्राफ ड्रॉ हो गया एयरटेल का. ऑन द बेसिस ऑफ दिस वी कैन से, जैसे एयरटेल की प्राइसेस पीक पे थी 2008 में, एंड आफ्टर दैट इट गोज ऑन डिक्रीजिंग अगेन इन 2009, मिड 2009 दे हैव स्टार्टेड इंक्रीजिंग, अगेन डिक्रीज हो गया. तो वी कैन एनालाइज द डेटा ऑन द बेसिस ऑफ दिस पर्टिकुलर थिंग. तो हम ग्राफ एंड बेसिक डिस्क्रिप्टिव स्टैटिस्टिक्स के बेसिस पे इसको एनालाइज कर सकते हैं. ठीक है, तो ये एक बेसिक हमारा कंसेप्ट है ग्रेटल के थ्रू जो हम करते हैं. इसके अलावा जो भी होगा इसके बाद हमारे, इसके बाद जो हम बेसिक देखने के बाद हमारा जो मेजर काम रहता है वो रहता है स्टेशनरिटी या यूनिट ट्रुथ निकालना, या ऐसे हम कहते हैं ऑटो कोरिलेशन. तो नेक्स्ट सेशन में जो सर आएंगे वो आपको ऑटो कोरिलेशन को एक्सप्लेन करेंगे. पहले वो कंसेप्ट एक्सप्लेन करेंगे स्टेशनरिटी की, एंड देन ही विल एक्सप्लेन इट हाउ टू डू टेस्ट ऑटो कोरिलेशन एंड स्टेशनरिटी ऑफ अ डेटा. ठीक है, ये मेरे ख्याल से ग्रेटल कैसे ओपन होता है फाइल, ये आप सबको आ गया होगा. आई एम स्टॉप शेयरिंग दिस. Now I am sharing the screen of eViews. Is it visible?
Yes, ma'am. Yes,
Okay.
ma'am.
Okay. Now in eViews we have two options. Either we manually add the data or we directly import the data. So I am explaining both the options or both the methods. First one is this is the first option where we have to manually add the data. कई बार होता है हमारे पास डेटा है बट वो हमें कहीं पर मिला है and we cannot put it in the Excel format. तो हम लोगों ने कागज पे नोट कर लिया and now we have to add it manually. So this is the manual format. Just go to file, new, work file. यहाँ पर start date mention कर दीजिए, suppose 2000, end date is 2005. Okay, हम annual data ले रहे हैं. There are option that you can go for semi-annual, quarterly, monthly, fortnight, whatever data you require, you can use it. मैंने यहाँ पर annual data को put किया है. Dated regular frequency है, हमारा panel data नहीं है. We are just talking about the normal data, time series data. ठीक है, ये हमारा ओके हो गया. ओके कर देने से यहाँ पर दो आइटम्स ऐड हो गए, C एंड रेसिडुअल. नाउ वी हैव टू जनरेट द डेटा. हाउ वी गोइंग टू जनरेट द डेटा? यहाँ पर इसे जो व्हाइट पैनल दिख रहा है, दिस इज नोन एज कमांड विंडो. जस्ट टाइप डेटा. हम लोग जीडीपी पे काम करते हैं, जीडीपी एंड इंपोर्ट. मैंने दो आइटम्स ले लिए हैं. डेटा देन नेम दे दिया. एक डेटा सीरीज है जीडीपी का, एक डेटा सीरीज है मेरा इंपोर्ट का. मैं इन दोनों के बीच में रिलेशनशिप देखना चाहती हूँ. जस्ट एंटर. विल सी दिस विंडो विल ओपन जहां पर कोई भी वैल्यूज मेंशन नहीं है. क्यों नहीं है? क्योंकि हमारे पास तो सीरीज ही नहीं है, तो वैल्यूज कहां से होंगी. और यहाँ पर भी हम देख सकते हैं, यहाँ पर दोनों वेरिएबल्स ऐड हो गए हैं हमारे वर्क फाइल पे, और ये दिख रहा है ये टाइम सीरीज पे है. नाउ यू कैन ऐड वैल्यू. मैंने लिख दिया जीडीपी 12, 8, 7, 8, 9, 10, ये ऐसे मैंने वैल्यूज डाल दिए। सिमिलरली इंपोर्ट का डाल दीजिए कुछ भी, 1, 1, 1, 2, 3, 5, ठीक है। ये हमारे वैल्यूज, ये हमने मैनुअली ऐड किया। तो दिस इज अ मेथड कि जहां पर हमें लगता है हमें मैनुअली काम करना है, क्योंकि हमारे पास आइदर इन फॉर्म ऑफ शीट और इन फॉर्म ऑफ एनी बुकलेट वी हैव द डेटा एंड वी हैव टू ऐड दैट डेटा, तो ये हमने मैनुअली ऐड कर दिया। दिस इज वन मेथड एंड वी आर यूजिंग टाइम सीरीज डेटा फॉर दैट। ठीक है, ये पोर्शन क्लियर है टाइम सीरीज का? रिसर्च स्कॉलर्स प्लीज, टीचर्स को तो आता होगा, रिसर्च स्कॉलर्स को स्पेशली। मेरे पास कोई जवाब नहीं आ रहा, तो इसका मतलब
Yes,
ओके,
ma'am.
इट इज क्लियर आई
Yes,
होप।
this is clear.
Yes, ma'am, clear.
हाँ, ओके मैम, आई थिंक दिस इज क्लियर। नाउ वी गो फॉर अनदर वन। यस, नाउ वी गोइंग टू वर्क अपॉन अ पैनल डेटा। तो मैंने यहाँ पर क्या करना है, बैलेंस पैनल पुट कर दिया। अगेन एनुअल डेटा, स्टार्ट डेट 2000, एंड डेट 2005, क्रॉस सेक्शंस। अब सपोज मैंने जो लिया है वेरिएबल जीडीपी एंड इंपोर्ट, नंबर ऑफ क्रॉस सेक्शन मींस कितने कंट्रीज पे या कितने कंपनीज पे आप काम करना चाहते हो। तो जीडीपी एंड इंपोर्ट तो कंट्रीज ही होंगी, कंपनी तो होंगी नहीं। तो सपोज आई एम यूजिंग 4 कंट्रीज, तो मैंने क्रॉस सेक्शन मेंशन कर दिया, आई एम यूजिंग 4 क्रॉस सेक्शन फॉर दिस पर्टिकुलर पर्पस। देन ओके, यहां पर देखिए, अब आप दोनों में डिफरेंस देखिए। फर्स्ट में हमारे सिर्फ सी आया था, कांस्टेंट एंड रेसिडुअल, वी रिसीव दिस थिंग, बट नाउ वी हैव क्रॉस सेक्शन आईडी एंड डेट आईडी, दो नए आईडीज ऐड हुए हैं। ये जो हमने कमांड दिया था, उसी कमांड को हम एंटर कर देते हैं, विल गेट। अब इस एक्सेल शीट को ऑब्जर्व करिए बड़े माइन्यूटली। यू कैन ऑब्जर्व दैट देयर आर 3 कंट्रीज, 1 एंड ये 2000 का है, 2001, 2002, 2003, 2004, 2005। हमने 5 साल का एनुअल डेटा लिया था एंड वी हैव 4 कंट्रीज, वी हैव टेकन 4 कंट्रीज, सो वी कैन सी 5 years डेटा, 6 year डेटा फॉर ईच एंड एवरी कंट्री। तो हमारे फर्स्ट पैनल मान लीजिए इंडिया है, सेकेंड पैनल चाइना है, थर्ड पैनल जापान है, फोर्थ पैनल हमारा मान लीजिए अमेरिका है। तो ये 4 कंट्रीज का हमारे पास डेटा आ गया 5 साल का। तो दिस इज कॉल्ड पैनल डेटा। जब हम पैनल डेटा पे वर्क करते हैं, एक्सेल प्रिपरेशन इज वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट इन पैनल डेटा। अगर वो एक्सेल प्रिपरेशन में प्रॉब्लम आ गई, पैनल डेटा लगेगा ही नहीं। कोई भी, चाहे ग्रेटल हो चाहे ईव्यूज हो, दे आर नॉट गोइंग टू इम्पोर्ट दैट डाटा। सो इट इज वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट कि हमने पैनल डेटा का फॉर्मेटिंग कैसे किया है। अब नाउ अगेन वी कैन पुट द डेटा, यहाँ पर 12, 13 जो भी आपको पुट करना है, यू कैन पुट द डेटा एंड यू कैन एनालाइज द डेटा अकॉर्डिंगली। सिमिलर वे में हम यहाँ पर भी इंडिविजुअल सीरीज का ले सकते हैं, एनालिसिस कर सकते हैं। जैसे हमने जीडीपी ले लिया, हमारे पास जीडीपी आ गया सारे कंट्रीज का, और जीडीपी का हम ट्रेंड एनालिसिस कर लो, कंपैरिजन कर लो, कुछ भी कर लो, व्हाटएवर यू वांट टू do, you can easily do that. So this is the first method. We have used time series data and we have used panel data. If we have manual, we have to do manual entry, then we can go for this format. अब next है, हमारे पास डेटा ऑलरेडी अवेलेबल है। जब हमारे पास डेटा अवेलेबल है तो हम क्या करेंगे? Just go to open eViews work file, डेस्कटॉप पे है सेव। यहाँ पर eViews वर्क फाइल आ रहा है, जैसे ग्रेटल में आया था। वी हैव टू चेंज इट टू एक्सेल फाइल। एक्सेल फाइल ओपन हो जाएगा, ये एक्सेल फाइल आपकी ओपन हो गई। यू कैन सी देयर इज अ ईयर, देयर इज मार्केट कैपिटलाइजेशन, सेविंग, टर्नओवर, जीडीपी। ओके, ऑल दिस थिंग्स आर देयर इन डिफरेंट रोज, सॉरी कॉलम्स। नेक्स्ट दे विल आस्क ये सीरीज 1 क्या है? सीरीज 1 की नेमिंग नहीं है मेरे, तो मैंने इसको दे दिया नेम ईयर। तो ये ऑटोमेटिकली इसको ईयर नेम कर देगा, क्योंकि बाकी ऑल द सीरीज हैव द नेम मार्केट कैपिटलाइजेशन, सेविंग, टर्नओवर, जीडीपी, बट दैट ईयर डजंट हैव एनी नेमिंग। So I have given the name to that particular thing. Okay, and finish. I can check my variables over here in this window. So GDP है, market capitalization. Again, there is an important thing. In case of EVUs, you have to use this particular sign. Otherwise, if there is a gap between or space between the variables, it is not going to capture it. So you have to use this particular sign. Then saving, turnover, everything is mentioned over here. Now I can go to view. Here we have to go for quick. In Gretel, we have to go to view to analyze the descriptive statistics. Here we have to go to quick, go for series statistic, histogram or stats, or just go for descriptive statistics, common values or individual values. Turnover के लिए मैं काम कर रही हूँ. I want to check the values of turnover and everything is over here. This Jagberra test is very important. I hope it will be explained in next session. It is used to test whether our data is normal or not. So in econometrics, it is very common and it has different definitions also. Normally, we used to analyze whether our data is normally distributed or not. Then there is a definition according to skewness and kurtosis. There is a definition according to residual value also. So it depends upon the situation and depends upon the analysis what we going to do. क्योंकि हमें नॉर्मलिटी इकोनॉमेट्रिक्स के एडवांस टूल में रेसिडुअल्स की चाहिए रहती है, वैल्यूज की नहीं चाहिए रहती है. वी आर बेसिकली डीलिंग विथ रेसिडुअल्स. सो वी कैन गेट द टेस्ट स्टैटिस्टिक्स. अगेन इनको हम चाहे तो बहुत सारे इकट्ठे निकाल लें और अपने पेपर में या थीसिस में इसको प्रेजेंट करें. दैट इज अ गुड आइडिया. ये एक पर्टिकुलर मेथड है जिसके थ्रू हम कर सकते हैं. Another thing which I am interested in showing is generate. ये वैल्यूज आपको दिख रहे होंगे कि काफी ह्यूज वैल्यूज है. कई बार हम जब इनका कंपैरिजन रिटर्न से करते हैं तो हम लोग के लिए कंपैरिजन पॉसिबल नहीं है, क्योंकि मैथमेटिकली ही पॉसिबल नहीं है. कुछ वैल्यूज हमें दिखेंगे पॉइंट्स में है और कुछ वैल्यू इतने ह्यूज अमाउंट्स में है. सो वी कैन नॉट गो फॉर कैलकुलेशन. तो व्हाट वी कैन डू, वी कैन गो टू जनरेट. या टर्नओवर सीरीज है, ऑलरेडी टर्नओवर सीरीज है. आप इसको रीनेमिंग करना चाहते हैं तो मैंने इसकी रीनेमिंग कर दी टी के नाम से. एंड नाउ आई एम गोइंग टू मिनिमाइज दिस सीरीज. को इसको वैल्यूज थोड़े नॉर्मलाइज हो जाए जिससे हमारे कैलकुलेशंस में वेरिएशन ना आए. तो जस्ट गो फॉर लॉग. लॉग जो यहाँ टाइप करेंगे ये लॉग कैपिटल लेटर्स में टाइप होगा. इसे हम एक्सेल में भी इजीली कर सकते हैं, बट दोज हु आर इंटरेस्टेड in generating a new series, they can generate it in eViews also. और हमारा टाइटल था इसका टर्नओवर. टर्नओवर ब्रैकेट क्लोज. अब हम इसको मिनिमाइज करेंगे. मिनिमाइज किया तो यहाँ पर देखिए मैंने टी नाम से सीरीज दिया था. ये टी सीरीज आ गई, स्मॉल हो गए इसके वैल्यूज. तो कई बार हमें वैल्यूज को मिनिमाइज भी करना पड़ता है. लॉग वैल्यूज लेते हैं तो वैल्यूज काफी हद तक चेंज हो जाते हैं, क्योंकि लॉग का जो बेसिक रीजन है उसी के कारण ये हो जाता है. और जब हम रिटर्न्स वगैरह के साथ कंपैरिजन करते हैं या जीडीपी के साथ कंपेयर कर रहे हैं तो वहां पर जीडीपी तो परसेंटेज में और इतने छोटे छोटे रेट से 8, 7, 10 इस तरीके के रेंज में मूव कर रहा है, और ये आपका जो वैल्यू है इट इज मूविंग इन थाउजेंड्स और लैक्स. तो कंपैरिजन पॉसिबल नहीं है, स्टैटिस्टिकली प्रॉब्लम आ सकता है. तो हम लॉग वैल्यूज ले लेते हैं इन सीरीज का. ठीक है, ये एक ऑप्शन मैंने दिखाया. इसके अलावा हम मान लीजिए मार्केट कैपिटलाइजेशन, इसको मान लीजिए अज्यूम करिए कि हमें रिटर्न निकालना है, लॉग रिटर्न्स निकालने हैं. तो लॉग रिटर्न्स आर वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट इन केस ऑफ स्टॉक मार्केट एंड स्टडीज. जब भी हम स्टॉक मार्केट में स्टडीज करते हैं, बेसिकली स्टॉक प्राइसेस से रिलेटेड, वी यूज टू कैलकुलेट दी एलएन वैल्यूज. तो एलएन वैल्यूज क्या है, लॉग नॉर्मल रिटर्न्स हम कैलकुलेट करते हैं. तो इसको हम अज्यूम कर रहे हैं ये मार्केट कैपिटलाइजेशन नहीं है, किसी स्टॉक मार्केट का इंडेक्स प्राइसेस है. तो आई हैव ओपन द इंडेक्स प्राइसेस, वी आर अज्यूमिंग दिस. how to go for that. Generate, again market capitalization है, इसको हम market return कर देते हैं, and we have to use the formula log, ये क्या था, market capitalization, market underscore cap divided by market underscore cap in brackets -1. प्रीवियस डे से हमारा रिटर्न डिसाइड करना, नॉर्मल जो हमारा फॉर्मूला रहता है परसेंटेज चेंज का, पर जब हम लॉग रिटर्न निकालते हैं तो ln टुडेज प्राइस डिवाइडेड बाय प्रीवियस प्राइस हो जाता है, सेम थिंग टुडेज प्राइस डिवाइडेड बाय प्रीवियस डेज प्राइस, बट वी आर टेकिंग लॉग ओवर हियर एंड एंटर, सॉरी पैरेंथेसिस का, अच्छा सॉरी ये हो गया. नाउ चेक द सीरीज, MR के नाम से हमने सीरीज दिया था. दिस इज माय रिटर्न्स. 2001 नहीं रहा, क्यों नहीं रहा, क्योंकि 2001 इज अ बेस ईयर फॉर 2002 और 2003. तो ये वी कैन गो फॉर दिस पर्टिकुलर एनालिसिस. तो यहाँ से भी हमारे पास बहुत सारे, इसे हम कहते हैं ट्रांसपोज. तो ट्रांसपोज के ऑप्शन हमारे पास अवेलेबल है, बहुत सारे ऑप्शंस अवेलेबल है. डिपेंड्स अपॉन यू कि व्हाट टाइप ऑफ ट्रांसपोज यू वांट टू गो फॉर. आप डिवाइड कर सकते हैं सीरीज को, यू कैन गो फॉर मल्टीप्लिकेशन, यू कैन गो फॉर स्क्वायर रूट, there are a lot many things available. So just go to this particular generate and accordingly use the formula and the variable, you can generate a new series और उस series के ऊपर आप analysis कर सकते हैं. So this is how we import the time series data. Now I am going to import and show you the panel data. Again eViews files, go to desktop, change it to Excel, workshop 2, open. This is our panel data. Next country, okay, next, finish. Now we want to see data, GDP, चेक दिस डेटा. जैसे हम लोगों ने ग्रेटल में पैनल बनाया था, इंडिया आ गया, इंडिया के जीडीपी और रेमिटेंसेस के डेटा आ गए, पाकिस्तान आ गया, पाकिस्तान के जीडीपी एंड रेमिटेंस, एंड चाइना. दिस इज द फॉर्मेट ऑफ पैनल डेटा. ओके, यू हैव टू अरेंज द पैनल डेटा अकॉर्डिंगली. अब पैनल आपका पैनल है या पूल है, इट डिपेंड्स अपॉन द टेस्ट. हॉशमैन वहां पर टेस्ट होगा, देन रैंडम एंड फिक्स्ड इफेक्ट्स है कि नहीं, वो फिर टेस्टिंग के ऊपर डिपेंड करेगा कि क्या है, पैनल है या पूल्ड है. तो वो टेस्टिंग के ऊपर डिपेंड करता है. दैट विल बी एक्सप्लेन्ड इन द लास्ट डे वर्कशॉप, यू विल एबल टू अंडरस्टैंड. अब यहाँ पर अगेन हम ग्रुप सीरीज निकालो, कोलोग्राम निकालो, ग्रुप स्टैटिस्टिक्स निकालो, वट एवर यू वॉन्ट टू परफॉर्म, यू कैन परफॉर्म ऑन दिस डेटा. बट पैनल डेटा में बेसिकली वी गो फॉर पैनल डेटा एनालिसिस डायरेक्टली. वहां हम डिस्क्रिप्टिव स्टैटिस्टिक्स नहीं देते हैं, बिकॉज डिस्क्रिप्टिव स्टैटिस्टिक्स देना पॉसिबल भी नहीं है. वो पूरे सीरीज को ले लेगा, जीडीपी की और रेमिटेंसेस की. वहां पर हमें या तो मैनुअली या एक्सेल पे या एसपीएसएस पे आप इसको कंट्री वाइज कैलकुलेट कर लीजिए, फिर डिस्क्रिप्टिव प्रोवाइड करिए. अदरवाइज eViews will provide you the complete data. तो वहां पर थोड़ा सा वेरिएशन आ सकता है. So that's all from my side. अब किसी को इसमें कोई confusion या problem? मेरे ख्याल से एक्सेल में इंपोर्ट आप लोगों को करना आ गया होगा दोनों तरीके से. अगर खुद से मैनुअली करना है तो हम कैसे करेंगे eViews में, और अगर हमें डायरेक्ट करना है तो हम कैसे करेंगे.
Ma'am, will you please explain how to import data file in Cretel?
Okay, ma'am, I will share it again. Just go to file. Screen is visible, ma'am?
It is visible.
Okay, just go to file, open data, user file, and here you have to select which file you want to take. Okay, I am taking the file. I have already opened a file, BSc list. So it's already open. You can easily see the name of the companies. Okay, now you have to check
Okay, ma'am. Thank you.
data. Okay,
Yes, ma'am.
just
Understood.
go to the file and then you open the file.
Okay, ma'am.
For practice purpose, you can prepare your own file also. It depends upon you कि आप किसी भी companies के data निकाल लीजिए या countries के data निकाल लीजिए या manually just type some data and do the
Okay, ma'am.
practice. Okay.
Okay, ma'am. Thank you. Thank you.
For practice purpose, you do not require this particular data sheet.
Okay, ma'am. Thank you.
Okay. Okay. Any other question? हम लोग फिर आज थोड़ा लंच ब्रेक कर लेते हैं क्योंकि आप लोगों का इसके बाद दोनों सेशन काफी हेक्टिक है एंड आई होप कि आप लोग सब लोग 1 o'clock से फिर से जुड़ जाएंगे वर्कशॉप में क्योंकि नेक्स्ट जो भी कंसेप्ट है हमारा स्टेशनरिटी इट इज वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट फॉर अस एंड वेरी सीनियर प्रोफेसर इज गोइंग टू एक्सप्लेन द कंसेप्ट ऑफ स्टेशनरिटी. तो जितने भी लोग हैं वो लोग आप लोग हम लोग थोड़ा सा पहले 15 मिनट्स पहले ही छोड़ रहे हैं. सो यू जस्ट गो फॉर योर लंच and just join at 1 o'clock sharp कि हम लोग नेक्स्ट एक्सपर्ट को सुन सके और कुछ लर्न कर सके अपने वैल्यू एडिशन कर सके. थैंक यू.
Thank you so much, ma'am, for such an enlightening and interactive session on Introduction to Econometrics. The lucid explanation regarding minute details of a research paper and time series data would definitely help our budding researchers. The foundations laid by you in the session today would help our participants to understand and acknowledge various methods of time series analysis in the coming sessions. Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you, Abhijit.
Thank you so much, ma'am. It was a very nice session.
Thank you, Rohit. Thank you. Thank you so much.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you.
We'll start our next session at 1.
We'll start our next session at 1 p.m. So we'll just have a lunch break. Okay, just join at 1 p.m. again. Okay, thank you all.
Okay.
Yes.